All right. This is Cesar de la Cruz with Brandon Brown and BJ Campbell. Thank you for being with us today, BJ. And today's sponsor is BJ Campbell Performance Horses. You have a sale in the wintertime. Talk to us about it.
We sell about 65 horses. Try to, match the buyers. We sell them from 5,000 to, I think we took 45,000 this year. Just whatever the locals or anybody across the world, we sent two to Chicago, all over the place, so.
Where's it at? Where's your...
We've had it at the Flying E Arena twice, the ranch. I had it out there at Salome at a little bar restaurant deal this year. Upcoming, I don't know. I've been thinking about moving to Casa Grande, Marana, Tucson.
Good little area out there. Grew up in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Always liked it out there. Had to move closer to Casa Grande, though. I like Casa Grande. Just the college days were fun and good memories, so I like that town.
Well, maybe we'll bring a horse sale there this winter.
It'll be good. I think it'll be awesome. Well, BJ, how many NFR qualifications have you had? And you're one of them guys that's an all-around champion, too. Let's talk a little bit about that.
I made the NFR 3 times healing. I tried it ahead, and I ended up 18th with Russell Cardoza. I was 20th with my brother. I just never could pull it off. I guess one of my claim to fame is I won the Dodge Finals heading in healing, the only guy in the world's done it, which Matt Sherwood should have. Brandon Adams got a leg in the short round that day, and Russell did not, so I won it.
Go. There you go, champ.
That's awesome.
You've done a lot of good, too. You went in leading the world going into the NFR at one time. I've done that myself. To do that, you've had a heck of a year. You've won a lot of places at finals, man. It's a tough place over there. It's won or lost in them 10 days sometimes, but talk to us a little bit about that. You won a lot of major rodeos.
In 2000, I was at the circuit finals, and Jason Stewart asked my brother, "Are we roping next year?" And he says, well, I was thinking about roping with Richie DeGuerin, Pook, and Jason's like, "Okay, well, I'll rope with your brother." And he's like, whoa, and so Richie DeGuerin he'd rodeo one year and then ranch one year, and he's well-known bomber and could hook. And so anyways, we hit at circuit finals. He said, "Hey, we're going to start roping, but I will see you at Denver, and we'll go all year and see how it goes." And so I won Denver. And we won 117 or 18,000 that year in 90 rodeos.
Wow.
We rode the same two or three horses at all of them. Never flew one time.
That's awesome.
But Richards was a real cowboy. He could throw. He's the first guy who used 4 coils. I remember Speedy Williams says, "I've never seen anybody can throw that far." And I go, "Well, I was 21, and I think I missed one steer all year." And rode to the end of it too. I was one of the first guys I felt like that didn't cut in and let them go by, and it was just great. It was just a dream come true. I had a little tiny pickup 2-horse trailer. It wasn't mine. I had a little black horse though that was unreal. My brother had already rode him at the finals a couple times. Everybody in the world rode him. They never paid me one penny to ride him, but now I would charge, but back then I thought everybody was my friend, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, and I focused that year. I was working out and eating right, and my partner didn't want me going out, so I didn't, because he knew I was a wild little guy. It was just fun.
Yeah.
It was just, he told me not to shove him in front of him, so I didn't. Then they had a lot of barriers, healing barriers that year. So I really do think that's another reason why we beat them. I don't know where they came up with that idea, but
what was the years when you made the final?
I made it in 2001, and then I always went amateur rodeoing, because I was a 3-event cowboy. I could make more money amateuring in Northwest Canada, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, parts of California, Canada. I could go work 3 or 4 events and have a ball, all week long. I didn't have to drive like the pro rodeo guys do, and then you could water ski and play and stuff during the week. So, but I made it in 01. Then I got Blaine Lana-Weaver in 04 and 05, and we made it 2 years back to back. And then I ended up 16th in '06.
Oh wow.
And then I was wanting to, that's when I started buying and selling horses. I realized, I never could win nothing at the finals. Just wasn't my deal.
Tough place over there.
I won 21,000, won 15,000 a year. I went in number one in the world. My partner is badass, one of the best ever, but he did miss 9 out of 10. I won second for the world. And that's when I realized who my friends were and who they weren't, But, and then Blaine, he's still one of my best friends. But, we just didn't capitalize in Vegas. I never had a good finals ever in my life anywhere.
It was 9 out of 10 in the one NFR the same year.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went in 54,000 ahead of Rich Skelton, and he beat me.
Oh dear.
Those guys are nasty over there. They caught a lot of cattle at the NFR.
Well, his header did.
I mean, turned a lot of them.
I'm not cussing anybody. Richard's one of my best friends, and he got me where I'm at. Because if without a good header, there's a lot of guys can rope, but if you don't have that header, you're just not going to win no money.
And your brother, what years did he make it?
My brother made it 5 times. He's 99. He might have made it in 2000. And then he took a break, and then he come back, made it, 3 times. He got Map Funk, which was an unreal header,
Yep.
stuff like that. So.
You grew up right there in Benton City, Washington, correct?
Well, I grew up in Bishop, California.
Bishop, California.
Yeah, and then my dad knew my brother was pretty badass, so he hauled us. And we went to Washington, my mom, and I went to Reno, Nevada, and Gardnerville, and I was outskirts of Seattle. My mom, she was just hustling, So I got passed around a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Northwest is awesome in the summertime. There's tons of amateur rodeos. It's a fun place. Some of the wildest rodeos in the world are in the Northwest.
Sam Willis, Russell Cardozo's father-in-law, took me in when I was 14 years old, and he was well known. He did every event except bull riding.
Wow.
And I was his healer and his hazer, and I lived with him until I was about 18. Yeah. And he told me, he goes, I think you're ready to go to the finals. And I said, oh, whatever. But anyways, he without him, I probably, my dad was awesome. He was doing what he could too. But Sam, he'd load me up, take me to, I probably went to 500 amateur rodeos before I got my permit.
Man, that's rodeoing right there.
Yeah.
That's starting to learn how to do it right.
That's a blessing, now looking back that somebody would,
Well, Sam Willis taught me a lot about life, working mainly. Mm-hmm. He's shoes and chiropractors, and he's a muscle man, and he's badass. And his wife, Robin, they just took me in. My dad, he just said, you can go where you want. I don't care. And then my mom, she was working, and they're separated. But so without Sam Willis, I don't know, how many. I've won a lot of all-around championships in my life,
Pendleton, you said one?
Well, yeah. I think I won about 150 all-around championships in the PRCA alone, and I bet I've won, 300-400 in the amateurs, I won $3 million.
Jeez.
Yeah,
and then I won 600,000 USTRC before I was 18.
Holy shit.
But you got to understand now, I didn't go to school.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to.
No.
Fuck.
Talk to us a little bit about growing up a little bit.
Yeah, well, my dad was Gerald Campbell. You guys know, everybody knows him, but he's wild horse catcher and stuff. And then my grandpa Leon, he was same thing, and my grandma went to Washington on a good job. And we ended up there. And so, but Oregon and Washington, it's not like rodeoing down here, or New Mexico or Texas. It just wasn't as tough. It's still not. You can watch the Cowboy Channel. I mean, it's an easier circuit. So, you might not have to be 4 or just get a bulldog and steer down, or just get a calf tied, and they'll give you a saddle for the all-around championship that day and stuff. So it's not like, and then Canada was so easy then, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was pitiful, but that's where I went all my money. I really was. I enjoyed team roping, but I loved just going and roping calves, bulldogging, hazing, and amateur rodeoing. That was kind of my thing.
Wow.
Good group of guys, the Bulldoggers.
Oh shit, yeah. Well, without them, I mean, they're just my buds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're still my only friends I have. When I go to Vegas, I don't hang out team ropers. I mean, Dustin Bird, Blaine Lanaweaver's my best friend. So I mean, You know the deal.
Okay.
Other than that, them team ropers, they just never did fit my deal. And that's partially why I never made the finals 10, 15 times like, a lot of guys did. The headers, they drove me nuts. And my brother and Russell, they took a chance on letting me head for them, and it just didn't work out. But we still made money,
Yeah.
because back then I had a few sponsors.
Caesar, since I've known him, he's always told me like how the Bulldoggers are just a tight knit group, and I went in one ear out the other. I didn't really pay attention, but now I get a little, I've been around the rodeo a little bit more, and I know exactly what you guys mean. The
Well, yeah,
camaraderie.
they want to see you win.
Yeah,
There's some when they get a good horse, they let one or two guys on. I had some good horses. I let everybody on. I kind of wish I would have slowed down on it, but you know what? Somebody once ride my horse. I learned from Roy Duval. When my first year at Houston, I was actually 17 years old, and I made Houston through the circuit, Columbia River Circuit, and I got out there, and Roy Duval, I said, "Hey, can I ride your horse?" And he goes, "What out are you?" I said, 47th, and he goes, "Well, you got about 12 before you." And I go, "Okay, what do I need to know?" He goes, "Right up there," because he's been ducking. So, I think he had 27 riders that day.
Wow.
And that's how Roy Duval was. I mean, he was old then. He was 60. I think he made the finals that year.
Yeah, let's talk about like he put a lot of the guys that had a lot of talent on them horses.
Or just one horse.
One horse, and
Yeah.
he was he was gonna get paid.
Well, I guess when his rookie year he got somewhere and nobody let him on, him and his brother decided from then on out anybody. Yeah, so they stuck with that.
That's awesome.
Made a pretty good living at a lot of them rodeos.
Well, back then, like Houston, they get 200 bulldoggers. First year I placed at Denver, I think I was 19 or something, and I threw a steer in 4-5. I won like 7th, won like 1,800 in the first round. There was 220 something bulldoggers. I mean, it was a all day slack.
Yeah.
Well, now they got this limit and all this bullshit, but whatever.
Man,
I guess we can talk about that if you guys want. But I mean,
well,
you don't need the contractors. Don't need to. You could put on a rodeo in Phoenix right now, and you'd get 300 bulldoggers, 500 teams, and it would be an amazing rodeo.
I mean, that's more money.
That's why I quit when they started living. I got hurt. I won Reno, and I got hurt in the middle of the season. I was in the top 20 bulldogging. And the next year I went to enter it, and they had the limiting deal, and they wouldn't let me in. And I said, "Well, I won Reno, I won second, and I won third here 2 years ago, and you won't." And so so that was one reason I quit rodeoing.
That was about. I know there was a lot of limits in 2005 when me and Coulter started stepping in and rodeoing in 2006 and 7. I think it maybe was it 2006. It was 50 rodeos or 60
Yeah,
rodeos.
that was just horrible.
Yeah.
That's all you could go to?
That's all.
The bottom line is you need to let everybody in. So we have people to trade with, and then you can help young guys go down the road. If you don't have anybody to trade with, and there's some kid out there that's badass, but if he can't get in the rodeo,
Yeah.
it's not. And I'm not here to complain about it. I'm just saying if they wanted it to be better, there needs to be more contestants at every single one, and the contractors they just gotta. We don't care about redraws. None of us do. Matter anyways,
Yeah, I always thought like the golf tournaments, they have a Monday qualifier for some of these big tournaments.
Exactly.
And so they got their top 125 that are entered in the golf tournament already.
Yep.
And then they have I think they only let 3 spots.
Right.
And they'll have 100 couple hundred golfers, 150 golfers in that qualifier. And it's just more money added to the pot.
I don't, I wish a group of us could get together here and go to Phoenix and in the winter and put on a real rodeo. I swear to you, we could have a televised slack. You just bulldog and rope cows one day. The next day you run barrels and breakaway. The third day you just team rope because there'll be, double the trailers. And I'm telling you that it would throw the American completely out of the water, and you'd only have to do it for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
The fees don't mean nothing. I mean, anybody will put up $1,000 to try to win a million or two.
You talking like maybe at the Coliseum?
Yeah. My first rodeo I went to in Arizona, I was 18 years old, me and Steve Smith, and we won it. 3,200 is at the Coliseum.
Wasn't there the Phoenix JCs back in the day or something like that? And they would do like the similar deal. They would run like 200 outside, and then they take the top 20 would go inside that night or something.
Well, I mean, my first year I went to Denver, 200 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
180 or something. You know, I mean, I don't want to stretch it, but there was dang sure 220 bulldogs.
That would be really cool. You know, do all that stuff outside and then have the night performance inside the
Well, you
Coliseum.
could sell tickets and then
Yeah.
televise it, you know, and
Yeah.
then so you just instead of running the same steers, you just go brackets. You know, you take 10 from each bracket, 50 guys, just like a rotation at a U.S. Open or World Series, how we used to do it. You know, so you rope against your.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we could all talk about.
The
but
back-to-back rodeos, you're roping against your steers and your
yeah,
your
and you
guys.
could just and so on your TV night, you could just take 16 guys or girls. You know, and it would be great. I mean, you would pack it in the winter.
Yeah.
Hey, that San Juan Capistrano rodeo, and toward the end of the year is one of my favorite rodeos.
Yes.
2-day rodeos. They take the top 15 or top 30 contestants, and like it is a packed house, and
Yeah.
it is a cool rodeo.
Where's that at?
In San Juan Capistrano, California.
Oh.
And what makes that, is so they got their high end companies, and because they were sponsoring me at the time when they started doing, I was roping with Blaine, and that's where we lived, is in San Juan, and that's where we practiced on the ranch. And it was one of my ideas. I told him, just charge the wealthy business owners around here more to have their tables, and watch this rodeo and just take top 30. Because usually at that time of the year, there's only 38, 40 guys still trying to make the finals.
Right.
Rest of them are broke, right? I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, for sure. That's toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones
Yeah.
you need to make the finals right there.
And I liked it. It was cool.
yeah.
So
That little setup right there, and then have like a qualifier to get into to rope with those guys. I think would be a huge deal. Like you said, 4 days you can have a big rodeo.
Yeah.
And we live in Arizona right here, and this is one of the meccas in the wintertime. Like you got some of the best
Yeah.
cow horse people and barrel racers, ropers come.
well,
to this part of the
just
country.
just like when we started, this roping against 40 guys is a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
And no barrier and all this shit. That's okay. I don't care. I can head and heel as good as anybody today on the right horse, but there's no barrier. I mean, I just went to Lakeside and it was horn around the end. And I got out. Of course, my horse's green didn't work real good, but the whole thing is when I've been to Lakeside in the past, you had to see tail.
Yeah, I remember that. Big steers too.
No, not now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've headed it the last 4 rodeos and there's no barrier.
Why do you think they're going to that? Like, is that
Oh, they're
Times are getting faster.
They just want that?
C4s.
yeah?
Well, your team roping directors are making them short, because that benefits them.
Yeah, they want to see flashy. I get it, but
Your circuit guys, of course, down here is rank. These Indians are unreal.
Yeah,
They're the best.
unreal.
They're the best in the world. They just don't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
it was like guys like you made the final and stuff like that. I mean, what would be your guys's? I guess it's maybe different answer for both you guys. But what's your prefer? Would you like to see tail, or would you like it to be 1 under? Or like what's your favorite?
Well, there's a time and a place. In the winter, do what they want. But it's ridiculous that you got to rope 1 in 3 when they got a 390 long arena or 400
Exactly.
feet.
That's what I think too. As well. Just kind of judging on the arena.
it takes all
NFR, you got to have a pretty
Yeah.
quick setup over there.
It takes the cowboy out of the header, right? So I mean, that's just my opinion. There needs to be at least 35, 40 rodeos a year with a huge long score, and then if and then them Coliseums got to have a short barrier.
Yeah,
of
makes
course.
sense.
But whatever, it's just changed.
Like Caesar said, one of your last rodeos or something, you were like 4-2, and it was like 7th, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
now. And like the four flat won the rodeo, 4-4 won
Yeah.
last hole. It's like
It's just it kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
I can imagine.
punched in the stomach by Mike Tyson sometimes. Like, gosh dang that.
Yeah.
I won, but it's not enough. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to go rodeo this way? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough deal, but like you got to see the evolution of the game, right?
I did.
When you were starting all the way till now. Like, did you ever think it'd get as fast as it is?
You know what? I thought Speed Williams set the mark, but he did not. He could throw at the line and Richie DeGuerin, and there was just only 2 or 3 of them, back then.
Yeah, there's some
Now there's,
illustrators and there's a
now
couple
there's,
of guys.
yeah, well, there's some elite headers, we know who they are. They're on TV and it's obvious. They're the better end of them because most of us heel the same. I mean, we're all patterned, and so we can get them on the first or second hop every time. All of us good healers, but if you don't have that header giving you that go and that same look, it's okay if they miss occasionally, but they shouldn't miss.
I consider like roping like football a little bit, right? We got the
Yeah.
quarterback and the receivers, at the highest level catch the football a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
times. You know what I mean? Like you just put it in the right spot in their office, they're going to catch
Well,
it.
when I got Blaine Landweaver, it was awesome. I had Sproul, and he cut me for some reason. I always tease him because we're good friends, But he cut me for Kenny Harrell. He said, I got the fastest man in the world. And I said, okay, well, all right, and okay. And I got Blaine Landweaver, and I said, I got the fastest man in the world. Oh, yeah, how's that? I go, well, he'd been 3.5 twice last year, so I don't know what to tell you. Tail the end of the pen, he's 3.5 twice, and Blaine is deadly,
He had the arena or world record at
for
that time,
years,
yeah.
And I don't know how many times I was 3 with Blaine in Kansas and Oklahoma, and so he was unreal.
Yeah. Kenny did have a cool heel horse, Taz. That
Oh,
fucker,
yeah.
he was unreal. I think the headers liked him. You had a good heel horse too, but
Not really.
You couldn't hide him from that horse.
No, and what's funny
Taz
is
so fast that he was
Well,
just waiting
yeah,
on the shot every time.
and I end up riding him all the time anyway.
It worked out great. One of the best heel horses.
Kenny, he just have him tied over there by the beer stand, and if his saddle was about a 14 or 13 and a half inch, and so I had to suck in my beer belly. But
It was kind of halfway cocked to the side too. You
Yeah.
to go fix the saddle every
Yeah.
now and again. About
He-
midnight, he had to go fix that saddle because it was slipping. to the
Yeah,
side.
he didn't care. I probably won 100,000 on that horse, and he wouldn't charge me a penny.
Hey, what is it about them horses back in the day, like the Jackal and Taz, and even Johnny Ringo, like that one that I had?
Yeah, my black horse. Yeah,
They were tough, man. Like,
I think it's how we
So
treated
tough.
them. You know what I mean? That we just run a lot of steers on them. You look at pictures; they're muscled up.
they liked it.
Well, now if your horse flickers an ear, we run to the vet. I mean, back then, vet. I never did inject my black horse. I never did.
I did later on with Johnny Ringo, but he did.
He
have
was
a little
already
bit of-
toast,
he
yeah.
had a little bit of a limp at a trot. I said,
Yeah.
"Don't trot him, just slope him. He won't feel it in the low." But at
Well,
a
my
trot-
black horse got to where when the head rope went on, he just started stopping, and then and Dean Tufton goes, "Hey, you want to sell your horse?" I go, "Yeah, to who?" And he goes, "Well, I'm interested." I'm like, "Dean, I mean, you ain't got our range, bro."
It's a
I mean,
breakaway horse now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if my brother and me can't get a throw, I'm pretty sure you need to stay at the tack room.
It's not the throw, it's the dally.
Yeah.
Get back to the side.
Oh, my favorite is Victor Aros. You know how he is,
Oh, yeah.
and he goes, "Hey,
Vic.
dude, man, can I ride your horse?" I go, "I doubt it, but it's tight." He goes, "What do you mean?" And we're up there at Colfax, Washington. I said, "Hey, whatever you do, when they scream you're out, stay down and don't rear back." "Oh, hey, man, I'm baddest in Arizona." "Okay." Bucky goes, "How's this going to go?" And I said, he probably cut his hand off. We'll see. Anyways, for the day money, Mike Fuller gets this brisket. And I mean, Victor gets him and goes for that rear back side kick he does. And old Black just pow, spun around and Victor fell off. And my Black come running over to me and I was next. And I heeled this bitch down and dallied. And he goes, "Hey, man, I didn't know he'd stop like that." And I go, "Well, me neither. You got him really working for us,
Got it freed up for it.
Next rodeo, he didn't ask to ride him.
Man, like that one was violent to the stop.
Oh,
Yeah,
he'd burn your paw.
Oh man, that's awesome. But like at the NFR, that's when he
Yeah.
was one of the better ones.
Well, he only weighed about 900, and we've been floating his teeth since he was 3. So I won the Chowchilla Stampede on him when he was 3, the 8-hitter.
You at the finals, you had his tail all nice, but about every round you would dally in 2 feet, he'd pull a little bit,
Yeah.
the tail all the way. And he didn't give a shit.
We didn't give a shit.
No, like every night there was little.
We had a backbiting Dale Merton saddle, you know what I mean? A pad that you've had for 3 years.
He had the thickest tail I've ever seen.
Bit
He'd pull
hanging
tail
down
out
in
all
their
the time.
lips about a foot,
So
You were doing 3 events, at the,
Most of my career.
So you'd have to haul 3 different horses and the whole nine.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
a lot of good bulldogging teams.
BJ's good about training his own stock.
Yeah.
Like,
I roped calves for fun. I wasn't very good, but I could sell my horse and stuff at the end of the summer and break even. I wasn't real good.
Did you? What is it? Tell us a little bit what it goes into training a bulldog.
Man, it's pretty much a bona fide heel horse or calf horse, And then I had a couple of bigger ones too that I sold to the big guys, Ken Garcia made one that we called Razor, and he was too big for me. He'd chop me off and about kill me, and so I sold him to Bill Pace, and I think they won 2 world championships on him. He still has him in his yard, but yeah, you rope on him. That's where everybody messes up these days. They got to cow up and let you off. So that's what I did if they weren't working. And I like a real little horse, bulldogging horse, something almost too small. I don't know if I think if I would have put more effort out, I'd have made the finals. But it's kind of one of them deals, you know. Back again, them team ropers don't like roping with a bulldogger, so.
I got a good story about a team roping horse that you've seen him, that buckskin horse that Tanner was riding,
Mm-hmm.
you know, breaking them cattle back in the day. He was a wild little thing. And they had problems with him rating a little bit. The sucker
Yeah.
almost wanted to run by every time. You had to rope on the gain, you know.
I remember him, yeah.
And they Oscar Durant had him, and then, you know, he's been hanging out with Zancanella.
Yeah,
And they've been bulldogging on him. That sucker turned into a
yeah, he's
damn-
badass, yeah.
Well, I mean, if they kind of want to go by a little bit,
Oh, they will.
it's something fun for
Yeah.
them. They like to race the other horses.
Yeah.
They race each
Oh,
other.
yeah,
You
that
know?
makes sense.
They'll rate a little bit to get there, and then all of a sudden, just like they explode by.
Yeah.
It's
Trying to
kind
figure
of
out, why this guy jump off? Now I'm lighter. I can beat this guy up faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they're we all bulldoggers know horses are bulldogging horses born. They're not made, you know.
Yeah.
You can't rope on a bulldogging horse.
Yeah. I like the bulldogging stories, man. Like,
Yeah. Bunch of broke ass guys that ain't showered and sleeping with each other.
What about the letter book room? I heard that place in Pendleton was something.
Yeah, you know, I only went about 3 times. When I went to Pendleton, it's highly dangerous, so I was always, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when I won the all around, I didn't party till I didn't even think I had a great first round. I won the first round in every event.
Oh shit.
And then the second round, I fell apart, and then I did not make the short round. Well, Rich Skelton made the short round in the tripping, and he placed a little bit in the team rope, and he thought he beat me for the all around. Well, I beat him by $12. And I was in the stands, pretty much shit faced, and I was in a whitey tighty and my ball cap.
that first round. was
Yeah,
good.
hanging
first
out.
round.
Yeah, hanging out with the fun stuff. And so, anyways, I had to borrow Scott Goodwin's cowboy hat, and I put on a shirt and went out there and took the picture, did the lap and all that shit, and got all the trophies and everything. So it's just one of them things. It was my day, you know.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't Rich Skelton's day for a change.
Man, that guy was.
He had a lot of
won a lot of
days.
stuff.
Oh, he
You know
was
what I mean?
8-time world champion. Yeah,
Won everything
in a
he was to
row.
win.
I know.
In a row. Like,
Man.
there's some BFI, a couple BFI titles in there too. And
Wasn't no leg roping, was there?
man, he rode about 32 in a row, I think, at the NFR before he finally got a leg. I think
Yeah,
so. It
that's-
was 3 years or so, right?
That's
right
pretty
around-
wicked.
Yeah, I counted him up when I was a kid. It was 30 some right in a row. Before
Yeah.
he finally got a leg, but yeah, he caught a lot of 2-footers, man.
He was good to me, old Rich. Tyler Magnus, yeah, they're my buddies.
You think about guys that make the finals for 8 or 9 years consecutively. That's a hell of an accomplishment right there. But then to win 8 world titles in a row,
In a row,
jeez.
pretty impressive. They had some of the best horses in the game. Them had horses that
Yeah.
were just phenomenal.
Well, Speedy was in his own, of course, he's in his own deal, anyways.
With the way it's going now, like the way this game has just got, do you ever see someone rattling off 9?
No.
I mean, there's just too many. I'm not saying that there wasn't back then, like so many different guys.
Well, back then there was headers could turn them, but they didn't throw it to the line and
Yeah.
makes 2 coils or 3. Now there's
to win a
10
back-to-back
of them.
right now in this day and age is something.
It's pretty tough,
You
yeah.
know, like Clay Smith did a couple years ago, and then I mean it's tough.
well, looking at it on TV, it looks like there's just so many guys can rope.
Yeah, Caleb and Junior did, I guess, back-to-back, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they're just the horses and
Yeah.
the guys are so
I
good
mean-
now, yeah.
I
There's
mean,
enough guys that take it real serious, and what we're talking about a couple days ago with a buddy. Back in the day, the beer gardens and stuff. I was right there in the middle of it.
yeah, we all had a beer after work.
Now they're
They don't do
doing
it.
yoga and
They put their cowboy hat in their rope sack and go play on the laptop.
yeah, it's a different game, man. I just
Their women are kind of hot, but yeah. Other than that, so is mine. So.
Like the
Or
cowboy
too.
aspect of it, like some guys say they're just team ropers, and some guys say they're cowboys before that.
That's obvious. The best team, cowboy teams, Derek and
Yeah.
Coulter. But a lot of guys, they just didn't grow up ranching and breaking their own colt.
Mm-hmm.
They just got the finances,
Yeah.
and that's okay. They better enjoy it.
Yeah,
man,
sure.
like making your own horse is. I feel like Johnny Ringo. I got him when he was 5, so I had to he was already started,
Yeah.
but making him and
Keeping
rodeo,
together, yeah.
that was pretty special to me. I don't know if it would have been as special if I would have had 100,000.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
just went to roping on him.
Well, I remember you had a cool little bumper pull that said George Arrows on it, and you had your camper, and
Yeah.
And you had your little bay horse.
You had kind of the similar rig too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did it all on my own. I got to Denver at $12 and first year and didn't make it, but yeah, I'm Mr. Capri and bumper pull and any kind of truck. Wade Wheatley used to laugh. He said, "That's a Campbell rig, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, I just passed you coming out of Mount Shasta. Why are you going so slow?" You know, I had a '78 Chevy, GMC 454 big block.
Oh
Tell me
shit!
you're just enjoying the scenery.
I took it to finals. My girlfriend laid down front seat and got embarrassed, and I unhooked my trailer in front of Rich Skelton, and the committee moved me back to the flag girls, and I said, "What's the deal?" And they're like, "Well, you can't beat by Rich. He's got his bloomer. You got your '69 Miley." I'm like, "Hey, I'm number one in the world. He's not."
They'll do that to you. I think 'cause
Really?
your rig was a little smaller, so they had to move.
I had two horses, Beetle and Kid Rock, which is dugout,
Oh yeah.
That's fun.
Brady Minor made the finals on that horse as well.
Oh,
You
gee,
made some
yeah.
good heel horses.
Well, I had him a year, and of course, it doesn't matter what people say and think, but he used to quarter and run by, and I just bought him because I had extra money and I needed something to ride in the challenge pen in Oklahoma, and I handed him 12.5 cash right out of my pocket. And I go, "Where's the horse?" He goes, "Well, it's in the stall." And I told Clay Logan, and I didn't know Clay. I said, "Well, go get him because I need to ride him in this challenge pen right now." And so he went and looked at him and, "This is what I bought. This is a Shetland pony," you know what I mean? And so, anyways, I didn't like him. He wasn't fast enough for me, because I had real headers, Blaine Lodower, Richie DeGuerin. This ain't a little bit different story. You couldn't be loping along there. You'd get cut in, then he'd cow down, I'd stab a leg. So Brady was in high school, and he high school rodeoed on him, and he actually made him a little better than what he was. I had him pretty tight. He was my calf horse, actually.
Yeah. That horse was pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
Like, he worked like a calf horse, and he'd take a jerk
Yeah.
and hit him like a calf horse.
I didn't like him, but, he wasn't my deal.
Brady he did free him up right there around the corner.
Yeah, he wasn't my deal, but that's okay.
Yeah. It's all good.
I like a bona fide head horse if I'm going to heel.
I rode that horse at Pendleton. He was you kind of, that's your country out there.
Yeah.
So that dugout was pretty famous out there.
Yeah, and he wouldn't fall down and kill you.
He about 10 or 12 people get to ride dugout every year, maybe more than that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I got to ride him
lucky.
times. He was sweet, man.
Yeah.
Like, he would slide and do all that cool stuff around there, but he wouldn't go down.
No,
He'd stay on his
he'd
feet.
take care of
Just
himself.
enough on his front end. He'd stay up. Pretty cool little horse. But we're going to take just a little bit of a break and fill up our drinks, and we'll come back with part 2 with BJ Campbell.
Heck yeah.
Here we are on part 2 with the Tolleson-Mack podcast, here with BJ Campbell. And this second half is brought to us by Turtle Box. What are they?
Well, they're like a speaker, basically, just any old speaker, but the difference is it's waterproof. All this, they drove over it with the truck. They've put it in submerged it in the water. It's like 100%, can't break it, military grade type. It's really good. And I think, guys that rope and
Like like a phone or
just a speaker, and then it's a Bluetooth, so you can play music, but it's super loud. So imagine, you have a
military shit.
Yeah, and
Like, for guys like us, we can plug it in over there behind the boxes.
Run over it with our tractor and everything, then
We
it's still
don't
good.
need electricity.
I think it lasts 8 hours on a charge. I mean, it's a big deal, and it's not that big, and it's has a little deal, and they're nice enough to get us 4 of them, so that was amazing. But for guys that need an arena, turtlebox.com.
Look them up, turtlebox.com.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, I need one.
Part 2. Well, like the second half, we'll talk a little bit about horses and stuff like that, but do you I know I do. I try to have a speaker when I'm riding them young horses, because you go to the rope-ins, and every time you go to rope-in, they're playing music, and there's a lot of commotion going on. And like I learned it kind of from Coulter back in the day. The 2007, he rode a real young horse over there, and he had the speaker right there next to the head box, just as loud as he could, just trying to get it prepared for it. But that does make a difference.
I think so.
I think it makes.
I think everything you can do makes a difference. The main thing is a good horse trainer.
Yep.
I mean, you got to have the horse, of course, but if he ain't got a good rider, no way, no.
Real quick about your horse sale. When you said there'd be about how many? About 60 head.
Yeah, my wife takes 65. She runs it all.
How many of those do you train some of those, or?
I put in 2 this year, but generally my Canadians babysit me. I got some good Canadians. They bring in some really nice horses, and then they'll sell one for $10,000 because their exchange right now, the rates are pretty good. So they're getting more money for their stock anyways, and they don't lie. You know, they're not like these horse traders that run in the needle to them or something. You know, they just straight up tell you, yeah, he's a little cold in the morning, but I roped a bear on him last week. You know,
Yeah.
He's good to rope bears on.
yeah, them Canadians, they're pretty punchy. You know,
I like them.
Yeah.
I've got a couple horses out of here last.
I
few
do too.
years.
My best horse is from Canada.
Yeah, I got a couple in training, and they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're bred right, and you know they cowboy on them a lot up there. There's a lot of
They do.
cattle, a lot of land. They gather them, and some of the places you can go to, they don't believe in the four wheelers. They go get on their horses and go cowboy.
Yeah,
Those are the
and
places to go get
rope
them
on them
horses.
in about 2 foot of snow, and yeah,
I like it when they, you know, the sorting when they're working pins and stuff. Them horses keep the shoulders up and really work.
they're in
down
a ski
really good.
suit.
Yeah. Well, they got to learn to stay on their feet too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of grass, a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of grass summertime, and you know ice in the winter. So
Yeah,
you got to learn how to stay on their feet.
It's crazy how you talked about, you know, some ranches, they put the four-wheelers away and some people put the horse away. But remember, we were talking to Oscar, and he said they did all that cowboying on foot
On foot.
on that, what was it, the Mexican Triangle or something?
Yep.
Bermuda
The
Triangle.
Golden Triangle.
Golden Triangle.
oh wow,
Oscar Durant when he goes and gets some M brand cattle in Mexico down there. in
because the
Chihuahua.
trees and they got it. The tree lines are
The
so
mountains
short
are
of the
so
mountains.
so rocky.
Yeah.
And them suckers are like goats. They'll just
Yeah.
right in the middle of some cliffs. You
They'll
know,
just
so
get
they
up
just
there.
Yeah,
walk up to the top.
so
of the
they
mountain.
just have their workers get around them.
Yeah, we watched some videos of it. And it's like, geez.
There'll be some
Louise.
guys on horses and stuff, but there'll be
Yeah, most of
quite a
them.
few of them on
50, 60 on
they'll be
feet.
up in the mountains, kind of bringing them off the hills. But it's pretty.
I've heard that.
the whole journey for the steer to get from there all the way to the States and
It's crazy,
rope
isn't
at
it?
Rancho Rio or one of the crown ropings. It's like, man,
Yeah,
you know,
And the people,
it's crazy.
I don't think they appreciate what it takes to have, you know, these cattle anymore. I think, you know, some of these people complain about everything. You know what I mean? They'll jump right on top of them, break the barrier,
Yeah.
and set them up and want to rerun.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I don't know. When I lived with Joe Rios and Rios family in El Paso for 5 years, I didn't know nothing about it. And they started getting fresh cattle, and I didn't even know how to heel. I thought I did, but by the time they got to Washington and Oregon, you know, they weren't fresh.
yeah.
I had to learn a whole new how to rope because Joe, he'd say, hey, run them down through there and warm them and stuff. And
Weekly, you'd get
tip
fresh
their
ones
horn.
weekly.
Yeah, and I didn't wrap them nothing, but I had 30, 40 fresh ones every week, and then
Yeah.
I'd sell them, or he
Yeah.
would, you know, and he'd kick me back a little bit. It was actually, El Paso was actually a lot of fun. It was a good place to rodeo out of if you're pro rodeoing because the winter wasn't too bad, and you could rope every day, you know. So
You're driving right through there a lot.
That's
Going
another
from
part of my
Texas to
life,
California
man.
and all that stuff. You're
I
going right
did.
through there
I
a lot.
rodeoed at El Paso 5 years. I enjoyed it. I could be at Fort Worth and San Antonio and Houston and all them to get my ass back at the house, you know, so I could, you know, I'm not a golfer. So
You're not at all. And I thought you'd be a golfer hanging
no,
out.
I wrecked a cart. And that's about it.
You go for the beer drinking and hanging out. A little
Yeah, I just don't golf.
bit. Yeah.
Shuffleboard,
Shuffleboard.
Hell yeah, that's my game. I love shuffleboard. That's
too.
my style. We'll have to play
pool,
it.
shuffleboard.
Our other studio, we had a shuffleboard table in there, but we never used it. But we had one.
It was a good time, yeah.
The little buckle bunny room they called it.
We had one of your buddies on the other day. Britt, he told us about some of your shuffleboard and pool table
Yeah.
places and games.
Speaking of that, like
Caesar got some.
let's get into that a little bit, BJ. We got Britt's version. I heard your version at the
Oh, and we all got beat up.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Late
an
night.
interesting day. I rodeoed a Billy Holland 2 years, Ken Garcia, and a lot of tough guys, and Sam. You know, I mean, I did it all. I beat some ass, and I lose one, and it's famous fight. You know what I mean?
Well, it was so many of you
Yeah.
tough guys out there. Like, don't mess with.
It was a weird deal that night. You know, I've been drinking beer all fucking day and roping the dummy with Turtle, and like I said, he was bird dogging me, I think, or something. But we were buddies, you know, and we went to this stupid bar, and Brett come in after the booze cruise, and he'd been doing what he's doing, you know, and pretty quick they're like, well, this guy will fight this guy. And like, whoa. I'm like, hey, if I could have had a ride, I would have left because I was already sick of it. And anyways, this one Navy SEAL feller, they want us to fight for $1,000. And I go, well, that ain't enough money, is it? And he goes, well, it is to me. And I said, well, it ain't to me. Because I'd street fought a lot in my life. And I said, 5,000. And we ain't doing it tonight because I've been drinking all day. So anyways, when that fight started, I cracked him about 10 times in the face, and I actually knocked the piss out of him. But there was a couple of guys in there that was fucking Billy Bob badass, and I did not do well. So
Britt said that he said when it went down, he goes, I looked for BJ, and I said, he's the toughest son of a bitch I know.
yeah, I made it outside with this one Indian dude, and he was fucking working me, and I was trying him on, and I wasn't down yet, but he wasn't having much fun. I was giving him a few too, and I still have a scar in the back of my head. I don't know what happened, but Joseph Shonago was laying on me, said he's had enough, and then that one fucking swelled my brain, broke my eye socket and shit.
Fuck, it was a real injury. It wasn't no
I went
bullshit.
around the next morning and both events.
Fucking A.
And my brother
Cowboy.
goes, "You don't look good, do you?" I go, "No, I had the best steer in America. You know, one of them good Corrientes we talking about, and that fucker's worth about 20,000." And I was 3.9, and then I was 4.6 or 7 in the team rope, and then I told my partner, "You got to take me to the hospital." So I think when we went through Fresno, Richard took me in there, and my brain was swelled. They give me a shot to take the swelling down, and then 2 weeks later, I had a fucking pus pocket in my ass on the tailbone pop from me hitting my ass hard. But it's okay. I give a lot of guys a lot of fucking beatings in my life, so you know what? I took a few too. You know, it just wasn't like you said. It ain't no fun talking about getting your ass whipped, but you know. Like Don Fry says the other day, if you lose one, hell, they won't shut up about it. But if you win, they forget about you.
Don Fry's awesome.
He is, huh?
Well, the way Britt explained it, he said he's standing by the pool table. You know, I mean, he's talking some shit. You know, and he was talking about you. And this is the toughest son of a bitch I know.
Yeah.
Right here.
Well,
And then
that was then.
you talked about it and on the Flatbed podcast how he was hiding underneath the pool table.
Well, I guess he got knocked under there.
Well, that's what Britt said. He says, "Man, I want to set the record straight."
Oh, it went.
He said, "I got hit, and then that's where I wound up. Was in the fetal position
Mikey,
underneath the table. I didn't know where."
Old Fletch helped me out. He grabbed his fucking pool cue or something, was going to crack this guy over it, and he grabbed it from Mikey. Mikey goes, "That ain't good." But we got our ass handed to us, you know, and it was just one of them deals. It was actually good for me because I didn't bar up the rest of the year, you know.
Man,
that was when they had 50 rodeos, and I ended up fucking 18th. And me and my partner didn't even know they went to 50. Because after my partner struggled in Vegas, he went back to Jordan Valley, Oregon, and I didn't talk to him until Denver. We started rodeo, and everybody's like, "Man, you guys are going to all of them, huh?" We're like, "Wait." All of a sudden, Pook's like, "Hey, I guess they're only letting us go to 50. Because I'm like, "Well, I've been a Nevada cowboy and all. Okay, Bishop, you know, I was hanging out there with my grandpa in Fish Lake Valley, and so we had to back off. We won Pocatello, and then we just fucking went home till like the 4th, and we were out of rodeos at Pendleton, 18th.
Man, I've had that situation with Paul David Tierney one time. Yeah, the guys that don't need to win that are behind you, they win every time.
Man, it wasn't meant to be.
So Britt said, back to that story real quick. He said something about, was it Lionel Weaver had the chair and he was like the lion tamer?
Yeah.
He was kind of
Get back. Yeah.
Oh, he said, we were down in Mexico doing the festivities that make men bold.
We shouldn't, I don't know. He went down there. I just wasn't my day, I guess.
Just one of the days, man. But the next day, though.
Yeah, next day it was.
I had a hangover.
I'm sure your head was swelled. Did your cowboy hat fit?
No. I had to do the Leo the Lion deal.
Kind of the cock to the side a little bit.
I knew I was beat the fuck. Tanner Bryson, his eyes were swelled shut, and I said sorry, and he goes, "Fuck, where's that bread? I'm gonna swell his eyes shut." And he didn't even have hardly a mark on him, and I'm like, "This is fucking handy."
And then what about was it Turtle?
Turtle broke his eye sockets, and fucked him up. Yeah, he had to take a while off from rodeoing, you know. So,
Did Turtle? Was it the same guy you were scrapping with?
That guy got knocked out, and I kicked the fuck out of him. But really, I did. It was easy because I got the first one on him. Back then, you know, I fucking run a 440 bench press 250. I mean, I could smack him like a motherfucker. But I should have just took the. But I was rodeoing for a living. You know, I wasn't fighting, and I'm not like I don't like beating up anybody. You know what I mean? We used to fight for fun. Grew up with fighters, Billy Holland, King Garcia. Fuck, I mean, my brother, all of us, that's all we ever did after school was just fight like a motherfucker. The res, you know, we're the white kids fighting the res. And And it was just something my whole family did.
Yeah.
I mean, they box, fight, kick, throw rocks at each other constantly. So it's nothing to be proud of, but that's what
Oh.
we did. I did a lot of street fighting in my days.
I mean, you have an aura about you, like, like 3
Well,
feet
I was-
away, 5 feet, arms
Yeah,
lifted all the
I
time.
was. I could run.
Yeah.
I was pretty athletic, but anyways, that didn't matter. I went to the UFC, but they wouldn't pay me
Hmm.
because most city kids now they're all this jiu-jitsu bullshit, But back then we just banged it up and slammed
Like
each
Don
other.
Fry you talked about.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. Well, he's my hero.
Yeah.
Him and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Hell
Those,
yeah.
those are some
I studied them both. Yeah,
They're awesome.
yeah. I'm friends with both of them. I know Mike. I know Don, and
You know Tyson?
yeah.
Oh, shit. How you know Tyson?
San Diego, my San Juan days,
Oh,
Norco,
cool.
play,
That's awesome.
I met him through HB Evitz at a party, and Mike, he was always at parties, and he's actually a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
He don't look like it, but he is.
No, I mean, I followed his story big time. I mean, he's fixing a fight again here in
I don't
a
know what the
couple
fuck
weeks.
he's
But
thinking there,
I think he can do it though.
he's a beast.
Well, I hope he knocks shit out of somebody. He's like 50 something.
Yeah, I watch him hit that back. I mean, I don't want him hitting me.
No.
Mm-mm.
Man, that guy he's fighting though. He can.
I don't know. I think he's doing it for the money or what.
Oh, for sure. But Tyson get a big payday on the deal,
20
and I
million
think he
or
kind of needs it. But I went
Don't
to the
we
fight.
all?
Oh, I mean, fuck yeah.
All you got to do is fall in love with the wrong woman. Next thing you know, you're broke.
I went to that guy's fight when he fought that Silva up here, that UFC fighter. When Jake Paul fought him, I was in the first row, and I seen that guy swing. And I mean, that guy's a grown ass man too, though.
Yeah.
That Paul guy, he ain't
Yeah.
no joke.
No, them would hurt.
I don't know. I hope he wins. I mean, I'm going for Tyson.
Well, yeah, the older guy.
Hell yeah.
Well, you never know.
What other rodeos did you enjoy going to, and like, what was your
You
favorite?
know what? I used to love going to Reno. It was just an icebreaker for me. Medicine Hat, Alberta was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Panoka.
Yeah.
The chuck wagon
I never
racers.
could win shit at St. Paul, but it was a good time. I couldn't win nothing there. I always tried, but
Did you ever drink any beer with the chuck wagon racers?
oh yeah, they're a blast.
That's
They-
about
yeah,
the
their
time.
women are too. They're tough. Yeah,
They're tough.
they're tough. Yeah, I just I liked all rodeos because I knew I was in limited time and I was always broke, had to win. It's the same as Caesar. We didn't grow with our parents did what they could, but they didn't have no money, so you got to win something.
Yeah.
You didn't get sponsors until you proved yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My uncle, he died of pancreatic cancer a couple years ago, but he paid my fuel and would buy me horses and stuff for about 10-year period there. So I was big dogging,
Mm-hmm.
and because he had a construction outfit, and dirt moving business and stuff. So he babied me, and then when he got sick, he cut it off, and then that was kind of the end of my. I still go, and if I have like right now, I got a good head horse. I'm heading a little bit, so I can get him out there. But yeah.
Yeah.
I actually roped a lot better when I didn't have the sponsors. As soon as I got the sponsors, I started slowing down, and I quit working hard at it. But I think everybody's got their day.
Yeah. Of course.
You start getting kids and wives and everything. Rodeo is not that much fun when your kid's crying because he got beat up at school and you're in Dodge City, Kansas.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
So
I had a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell. I didn't want my kid growing up like a lot of rodeo guys. I'm not going to mention names because it's not fair to them, but they weren't never home, so their kids end up being a bunch of buffoons. You know what I mean? And so
Well, they're chased. They got one love that they're chasing. They grew up loving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they have their kid, like I never. I love my wife and got married and stuff, but I knew love whenever I had that kid.
yeah.
My first one.
Well, you got to be
it's
there.
like,
You got to tell them right and wrong.
it hits you right there in the heart.
Yeah.
If you
I
don't,
love
yeah.
that thing, so it's like that's why I slowed down rodeo because I wanted to be.
Well,
home.
you
I love
got
being
a
home.
couple
I wanted to
kids,
go
3
rodeo.
kids, and it won't be long. They pick up a bad habit and coming home from school, and then you got a problem, and then you're out there. And rodeo's not like everybody thinks. You don't jump in there in the tour bus and you and the team. You're just gone and roping and struggling and all this bullshit that sucks ass. Which I love it. I love the sport. I love everything about it. But I don't like how the younger generation's got all this money, and then they show up in these badass trailers, and then they pull their horse out of there, slim gutted, no hay in front of them. They're in their shorts, and I'm like, oh man, I wish these guys would have to work at it a little bit before they get all the cool shit. But
You had a little bitty truck and trailer, and then when you unload
No
your
money.
your horse is slick.
I went to the pros because you could go till Tuesday. You remember?
Yeah.
Pay your fees, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then amateur and you'd write a hot check. So I like the pro rodeos, and then now we got to pay that night, and kind of puts a monkey wrench in my fucking deal
The
again.
horses you unloaded out of the trailer
Well, they were good
top
pricks.
notch.
They were the best
They were
at
as good as they were.
that.
Right?
Well, my dad, he's a hell of a horse trainer, and he'd let you take anyone. Sam Willis, you know, John Opie. I've had lots of guys loan me their stock. You know, Richie DeGurn had him. Blaine Weaver let me ride his backup head horse. Made the NFR on him, but they were good horses. You know.
Yeah.
But I just don't like the younger generation. They ain't never had to do shit. They're on a credit card and big old rig, and you know they're just not. I just don't like it.
I understand. I get to see it. I've seen it too, and it's hard to compete with those guys when they buy their header.
They'll
pay a
well,
header
that's what
salary. They got the big old fancy rig, and they spend a lot of money on their horses, and it's like, man, this guy's got endless funds. You know what I mean? Like,
What year did that? What year would you say, or roughly, when that first came about? When a guy would buy their? When was the first time you ever heard of that? Is that something in the last 5 years?
I know I heard about it with Mike Serby. Did it with Corey Kuntz, right? When I was a little kid, right?
Okay.
And then when 2007.
And I remember Corey saying, "Yeah, I can't wait for this year to be over because I want to, get." Mike could spin them though, you know what I mean? I think he ended up 16th or something. Didn't
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then the one that had the most success, I think, was when I got to watch it the whole year was Dean Tufton.
Yeah.
Paid to Speed Williams to rope with him, and he bought Chili Dog. Rich got
Yeah.
the Steel Horse of the Year before.
Yeah, it took his
Wow.
part.
Put all the stops. You know what I mean? He made the finals. He did.
So it's
He did.
possible.
They probably would. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Dean Heel's good. He had
Yeah.
the very best header.
Yeah,
and he had
Dean-
the very best heel horse out there.
Yeah.
So like,
Dean ropes really well.
it's
Another situation. Say the header was a guy paying the healer. The healer just has to think in his mind: is it worth me? Maybe not making the finals, but has to make enough money to stay out there and make it. In the whole year. Like,
it's
is it tough? Huh?
You go week to week, month to month. Like it's not
Day by
something
day, yeah.
It's
like
tough.
Coulter and I and Derek, there was a couple times, man, we're completely broke, and if we don't win at this rodeo or this week,
Got to go home.
we have to go home. It's at that, and
Wow.
bam, it's just like we win everywhere that week.
Yeah.
First everywhere
Yeah.
that week. We talked about cowboy and how important it is. You got it too. You cannot let.
Well, our whole life, all of us, you, Derek, me, Coulter, Blaine, Weaver, Richie, we all had to win when we went to the local rodeo. Our
have to
parents
cash.
didn't. Our parents took us over there and had an ice chest and sat down there, and they're like, "Hey, you got to win. If you don't get to go next week." And I don't even remember when my dad says "good job" when I didn't win nothing.
But they wouldn't reach unless you know what I mean. They had
had to
to
turn
but,
him.
like they were gonna turn the cow, and like you were
Every
gonna,
trip.
As soon as the steer turned, you were
Yeah.
gonna catch 2 feet.
You can't be
your
legging. Don't be losing your rope
Your
either.
livelihood depends on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people wondered why I tried so hard. It's like, hey, my life depends on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home. I don't like this is. I want to be here. You know. So
Most world champions had to work at it.
for sure. Like I mean, rodeo.
Not all of them, but
You
know,
talked
they do.
about it a little bit. You went and leading the world, and then that last 10 days.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
Wasn't meant to be. I probably would have been a prick if I was world champion.
we love you, man.
I would have still had the same hot ass women,
You're-
But
You're one of my favorite personalities at the rodeos.
Yeah.
They are. I love.
you know what? If I don't win, I'm 3 minutes. I'm a bulldogger. I'm over it, And I don't like cussing my partners, but if you fuck up for about 2 or 3 weeks, I will tell you. You know what I mean? A lot of headers can take it out is, but it ain't that hard to hit them. I'm old and fat, and I bet you I'd turn one on Saturday night and pace and win money on a horse that's been to one rodeo
I tell them it's like
and no jackpots.
they get Ricky Bobby in their brain where they got to go for first. It's like, hey man, well, you
Turn
can
him.
turn him and win fourth and
Every day you win 4th or 5th, you can survive.
make money.
That's why it's so hard right now, is because all these kids got money and sponsorships, right? So they throw it the line because they don't have to go. They just get back on their phone and pull their bullshit out. If they all had to win, they wouldn't take that throw.
Absolutely. Right. Because, there ain't no consequence.
Well, Dustin and Squeezin and Driggers and Big A, and they're all in their own little deal. Eric Rogers. There's a handful of guys can nail them. Just that's their shot.
Yeah.
But there's these other rich kids that are throwing it out there. Clay Smith is awesome too. It's obvious, but they're all throwing it. And when they do connect 1 out of 5, they're 4.
Or
flat.
3.
Yeah, or 3.
Yeah.
And so in no score, I mean, we were talking about that a little while ago. There's no score. I've been heading the last couple of weeks, and it's shoulder around the end of the gate. They call it point. I'm learning this. I used to score to
It
the
was tail by the end of the gate.
yeah. They just don't have that anymore, and I think it's because of the liability with the barrier rope. I really do think so.
I'm telling you, it is a liability.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's. I've
It's
seen
giving people hell
a
lately.
few good wrecks last
Yeah.
few years.
Yeah,
Like,
and so-
just social media, you get to see it more now. And like,
Yeah.
man, it's dangerous if they put the neck rope on
Yep.
backwards.
And they do because the committees are just like everybody else. There ain't no about cowboys in the
There's
committee.
volunteers.
Yeah, they don't fucking know. You know, they work at fucking Ace Hardware. And
And you make a mistake, right? Like there,
Yeah.
But like it's if you do it like us and realize and have seen some good wrecks, you don't make that mistake.
Yeah.
You know, but like people that never seen that wreck before, where
Yeah.
it grabs the
it can
person.
happen. That's why when I do my breakaways, you know, I do a lot of breakaways, and I didn't this year. I backed off because calves were so high, and Wickenburg got flooded with it, and I wasn't doing as well. But I do the electric eye, because I don't want the liability. Somebody trying to sue my ass because they tripped their horse up.
Do you like the lead legacy barrier?
I do if you can hire Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like putting that some bitch up myself because I'm an
it's
idiot.
Pretty hard.
That's like me. If I move down there to Casa Grande or somewhere down in this area because I'm tired of the country, I'm going to do breakaways big time because you can run a feedlot program with your calves but we can do it here in Tolleson.
You have muley ropings as well. There's a lot pretty
yeah.
popular out here.
Do it right here.
Yeah.
You get the Wickenburg crowd right here.
Oh yeah, yep.
We're gonna be in Wickenburg.
Brandon's got a little spot in Wickenburg.
Caesar got a little spot in Wickenburg.
Nothing wrong with that.
Don't hurt nothing. One of the meccas of team roping up there.
We're just adding on our arsenal. Little arenas here and there. I'm trying to pick them up.
Trying to get this Tolleson-Mack podcast going. We're going north a little bit too.
We're gonna be live in Wickenburg this winter.
That's cool.
Right after some of them big ropings, we're hoping to lure some of them guys. And
Yeah, like even the lower number guys come over there. Hey man, what do you think about your big win? They'll love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
for sure. And then,
Shit, I was heading that some bitch. His horn was taking on the right fence. I was swinging. No fuck. I was scared to throw, and I got him by the half head, and I was going down the pin. Thank you. I got this healer from Alabama. Fuck, we're 11 clean. Win 28,000. I love him. We're gonna eat dinner tomorrow, not tonight, because his wife's shopping. Yeah, I know the whole deal.
that's the truth, though. That's what keeps them going. I mean, some of the money that they win.
I like going and watching the 8. That's my favorite rope and short round. I just fucking pull in there and video this shit.
The funniest shit, man. Them guys
18th high call wins third. You're like, really?
yeah. They
How'd
get
that
pumped
happen?
up,
Oh,
too.
well, 16 guys missed before me.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude,
yeah.
you're rank.
Be right there at the back end of the arena,
Yeah.
and the excuses are my favorite. You know what I mean? Like they get so pissed off
Yeah.
if they make a mistake, and they're throwing the rope, and it's like, man, you don't do this for a living. You can't be acting like that.
No.
You know, they get so upset.
I have this. I had a group of guys that now they're old, a little higher number, but they take me over there. Hey, show me what I'm doing wrong. I go, well, for one, we're already fucking at the trailer, and we're headed home. It's only the third round,
That's wrong.
so we're doing that wrong. We got to be here till the short round. So quit fucking missing. And
you
they're
gotta
like,
be one of the
well,
last ones to leave.
Yeah.
And I said, I told you, pull your slack to the outside, and you'd wave it off. Neck these some bitches. What? What's neck? I go, fuck. You know what I mean?
They said if they've seen them pull their horns off, but never seen them pull their neck off, huh?
No.
Never. You can't.
Yeah, fuck anything that lead by the neck, or you'll choke out, dog.
Man, I'm telling you what, I don't mind them around the neck. I like it.
Oh, look at Aaron Sanders, and you win a gold buckle doing it.
Telling you.
Lots of guys have, and
Well,
I'm an Aaron fan, but
Tyler Wade, one of my favorite hands
yeah,
too.
he'll get it by
He
one
just-
half head, left half
telling
head,
you,
right
he's
neck,
got a big old loop that
brisket,
just catches
horns.
He'll catch it from 3 coils back. He's got a big old loop that it, like you said, slick horns, half head, neck, but he's gonna turn
He's
it.
a cowboy son of a bitch, yeah.
Talking about going back to the 8 real quick, it's like, so all week, I kind of took it a little serious there for a couple years when Tanner was staying up with us over there, and I took it serious for maybe 3-4 months, and I was seeing for myself, getting a little better, and buy a better horse and this and that. But then all week I'd get this sweet ass, Tanner would set him up and, give me the shot of, so then I get there and then I was like, boom, boom. And I know I should rope no matter what. It doesn't matter. I know it's my fault no matter what, but it wasn't the same look that I had
No.
for fucking 5 days straight.
Like healing for me, yeah.
And then that bitch goes, boom, boom, boom. I was like,
I'll give you that bad look, I'll tell you. I'll fucking,
I know.
I'll skin that smoke wagon.
I know it doesn't matter. You still need to catch them, but I was like, Jesus, man, it was fun all
Hey,
week.
you know what a handle is, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely
It's
know what a
something a
handle
healer invented that couldn't heal.
That's damn right. He was put
I
it
think,
down.
motherfucker, you want a handle? Go to fucking Ace Hardware and get a shovel.
They got a bunch of them over there.
They do all kinds.
If you want to win, though, honestly, man,
You
just
gotta
try to
slow
set
down.
them up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well,
That's
when
what
their legs are scattered everywhere, it's like, oh shit.
That's what I tell my clinic guys, that come to get lessons and stuff. Hey, that they come over and get head lessons. They want my opinion on healing. How do I get my healers to catch? I'll go to the rope and I won't miss, and my healers are all miss.
They're going down the arena.
I'm like, hey man, you're just ducking this. Like, slow down a little bit and pay attention to your healer. If your healer's not there, you can almost slow him down, and almost like steer stop this.
Yeah, wait on your man. He might be over here having a stroke.
Because we're fours too on the back end,
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
You're wanting to win in that, especially at that level. You make it easy for them guys. They'll get a leg or they'll get 2 feet, But you get a guy that ropes real good. He's going to be up there in position, and all you can just turn him for those.
Yeah.
Guys.
Well, so many guys buy horses these days. They don't know how to get a hold of cattle right, and you're like, oh man, how am I going to help this guy with his, his horse is horrible.
Steer stop. That's all
Well,
we do.
yeah.
We got to steer stop a lot. You got to get control right there in the corner. or
You
else
do.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
I tell the guy, Tyler Wade, 3 coils, and he's just setting him up sweet for his healer.
Yep.
He's not ducking. He's kind of pushing forward, getting wide, getting ready for his face.
Yep.
It's a team event.
Shit,
If
definitely.
you want to win, if you really want to win, it's a team event.
Yeah,
But,
you gotta look out for us back there.
Just got to go draw.
But me and you grew up.
That's what I do. I draw on the open sometimes and tell you, man, really, I got last year's world champion. This is awesome.
Yeah,
This guy would never rope with me,
we grew up in the era of George Arles and Gerald Campbell. Don't miss. If
No.
you cannot miss.
And don't break out. I don't care if you got to rear your horse.
You might get your ass chewed out if you miss.
Oh, yeah, my dad
especially
whipped
for
me over the head with his head rope. Gerald, don't be mean to them kids. You want them?
Give us
You can
one,
adopt them.
Yeah, you can have them.
Give us one of your most memorable moments that you can remember. Like what sticks out to you? What win or
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I mean, with all the stuff that you've won, you
Yeah.
just said how much money you've won. So I mean,
It doesn't. You know what? Yeah, I mean, we blew it all. But they're all great.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things I can't really remember. It doesn't matter, but I had a lot of fun with Russell Cardoza. He is my homie to this day, and I can't believe we didn't make the NFR. It's just we were just, I call it, several rodeos, and one of us would mess up. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all in the past. I got a lot of friends. I've worked both events. I've headed and healed both sides, so it's hard just to pinpoint.
what's your favorite header, Neil?
Like, I'll tell you what. One year, me and my brother were 3-7 plus 5 San Antonio. Then we went up there to Rapid City, and it was a blizzardy sumbitch, and our generator quit, and they're bringing the cattle up, and one steer went out the left-hand gate, and it was a white one, and I go, what steer we got? And he goes, I think that motherfucker, they just run out that gate right there. And I go, you think he's going to go over there? When I nod, and Bucky goes, oh, no, he'll probably be all right. I fucking nod, and this steer just ducks right in front of me right there, barely breaks the deck rope, runs over there down that fence right there, and I got out. Split the horns. I'm fishing it on all the way to the catch bin. Fucking drug it around there. We were 8 or 9, and Bucky, he had a little horse he called Rainbow, and he goes, you know what? I'm thinking about riding old Chirac, and he got him from Brock Andrews. And I go, so you're gonna ride your 4-year-old tomorrow over there when I done pulled your pants down once at San Antonio, huh? He's my brother. He goes, hey, you just do the fucking head, and I'll do the healing. And we were 4 flat, and that was cool because I set the arena record that day. And then we went to Laughlin. We were 4-2, 4-3. Broke the arena record twice that day, won that, and then then we went to Reno. We took a little break there, and then we set arena record over there, 4-7. So on a runner that outrun Paul Grindsman's Horse of the Year head horse, and I bought mine for $3,800, and this bitch would damn sure duck. And so me and Bucky, we just started riding our cheap horses. We sold that other shit that everybody thought was so good, and we did great. We had a good year. We just amateured a lot, because it was funner.
Yeah. Did he do multiple events as well?
Yeah, he was a bulldogger, calf roper. He's about half chicken shit to get off, but he could hang it on him right there. And he had the slowest one rep in the Northwest. One time he placed at this rodeo, and he goes, hey, pull over there. I'll tie that calf in a hat size. And my brother's got a great big head. And I go, hey, I don't think a 9-1's going to win anything over there, So I don't know. I had a lot of fun rodeoing with my brother.
That's cool. Did you guys make the finals of the same year? No.
Never did.
Well, so you guys were a part of 8 years at the finals, whether it's you or him.
Oh yeah, I was the
That's cool.
stall boy and shit.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, he wouldn't give me a penny, and I'd pick stalls for him and Fred Whitfield and Cody O. And I was Cody O's stall boy, and then I knocked him out a year later because he's being a prick. You know what I mean? And then Fred Whitfield, he's my homie, and he's like, "Hey, you got to quit whipping all these Texans." And I'm like, "Well, fuck, I don't know. They all got to quit saying y'all and shit."
I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it. That's funny. Yeah, we had old Fred on in Vegas. You came on our podcast.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's my hero.
great stories.
Yeah.
Where do you see the game going in the next few years, man?
Fuck yeah. I mean, if you know, I hate to say this, but if Joe Biden don't get in there, or Joe Biden's in there, we're fucked.
I agree.
I mean, they're not going to have calf roping already. I think it'd be the Texas National Finals, because Texas and Arizona is the only ones that stand up to these fools. And I think that's true. I'm not joking.
and
I'm a
Arizona-
Trump. I'm a Republican. I ain't a Democrat. My father-in-law and a couple guys fought for our freedom and everything, and they're pissing and shitting on them. So I'm not going to play that game. I mean, if Arizona doesn't go and with the rules, you know, I don't know. That's why I'm here, because you can pack a gun and
Yeah.
I don't know how
have a
long.
little ranch and everything.
I don't know how long the state's gonna stay.
It's
going quick.
so if Trump don't get in there, it's gonna break everybody. So all the rich kids, you know, they're not gonna be able to go either. And so they'll probably have 40 rodeos throughout the nation. That's my theory. I mean, I could be out there. You know, I don't think I am.
With the
I mean,
protesting of with animal
there's
rights.
200 rodeos when I started. Now there's about 80.
Yeah. But like
All these tree hugging liberal motherfuckers that don't understand you got to cut trees down.
Yeah.
And you have to drill oil and.
milk
We need
cows.
to be eating our own beef and all this shit. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
want to get started, but
No.
it's headed that way.
They protest down the road here on the side of the road for these dairies, and there'll be 50, 60 cars, and they got signs, and we're animal abuse. Them animals get fed so damn well.
Well, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, and then,
They'd be dead. And then they go down there to McDonald's
Yeah.
or wherever and get a cheeseburger, and they don't know where it comes from. So anyway,
absolutely.
that's out there, but not really.
Yeah,
Donald Trump's trying to save the cowboys and the farmers,
Yeah, he is.
damn
and
right.
here we are.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. It's horrible.
yeah. I mean,
That's why I'm selling my place.
no,
I'll sell it to some barrel racer, and that's the best ground in the world over there and best place for barrel racing. I got a wash and everything. Because if it gets ugly, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going to live. It's not going to be in Oregon. That's a liberal state.
and you're not. I mean, you're not the only one. Everybody thinks like you nowadays. I mean, most sensible people that see what's going on in the
I
world.
mean, I got farmers giving me hay in Blythe because they can't sell it,
It's
and
nuts.
and they should be sending it to Saudi Arabia or everywhere in the world for big money, and they're giving me
yeah.
real nice horse hay because it's just going to waste.
3 years ago was record price. Record price, the highest we've ever seen.
But cattle were cheap, and
Yeah.
so I had a lot of steers then. I
I
remember.
mean, I sent you that deal the other day, and it's terrible. I mean, it really is, and I didn't think it was going to fall that fast and that far. We've never seen it drop
Well,
that much.
crashing ships and not letting us go overseas with hay and everything.
Oh.
It's stupid.
It's got real crazy.
I mean, you can't. I mean, look at that boat the other day. Two of them run into the bridge
bridges.
out of nowhere. I mean, I'm a cowboy. If I'll tell you the truth, I'm dumber than shit. I quit high school and whatever. I mean, it's easy to make money. You just got to get up and work, but it's hard to pocket it when they're taking it.
Yeah, these taxes are getting crazy too.
When they knock that bridge down, I'm always notice I'm kind of a visual learner and kind of watch stuff, but there were some sparks and almost like explosions on that about the same time that
You would think there's a backup driver on them boats.
I mean something.
How many
Yeah.
times has those boats went underneath that and never had a problem? You know what I mean? Like I know
Two
that.
of them at the same time crashed.
Yes, I mean, I know the
bullshit.
sparks you're
Top
talking about.
boats, man. They got
Trump's going through it. We're going to go through it. It could be a war. I mean, if Trump don't get in there, he said it's going to be like 1929. So we all got to take that in consideration. I'm keeping a few steers around the house. They could shut your power off here in Phoenix, and everybody would just die.
For sure.
Especially
Because
the
we don't
heat's
have no.
coming.
You'd have to if you have a pond or water and stuff. That's great. You can boil your water. You have to have water. But I'm just saying it is ugly out there.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. With couple
There's no
steers.
American dream.
No.
I tell my daughter all the time, I want you to, just focus here for a minute. But right now, it's just tough times. I mean, it's stupid. And we're letting them do it. Pissing and shitting on your military guys. And
Yeah.
they're out on the streets, they fought for our country, and then they got a little PTSD, and they're under a bridge because they want to get drunk and stoned or something, and then they won't feed them or anything. But they'll go give some person that walked over the border everything.
Yeah, everything.
Phone, all that good stuff.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, I mean, we all got to go forward, of course. But it will affect rodeo.
Oh, definitely. Rodeo. I mean, some people like the contractors, and you guys too. You guys are, that's how you make your living. But a lot of the public see it as maybe a recreational. They don't really. People don't know how much it affects your guys' livelihood. It's how you guys make money. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, like the sponsors and that kind of stuff. That's what I'm worried about. Like those big sponsors, the big ones that put on the big events. But
If they're not making the money, they can't write it off.
yeah, all the way down to the guys that just have a patch on them. It's going to affect everybody.
Well, the teams are down this year. Now, that's why Rancho Rio and everybody's charging more for their fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were way down because I used to put on a lot of ropings. Lots. I run 22,000 teams in Nagila in 3 years. I know all about it. But, of course, I had Raleigh Twisselman behind me and cattle and everything. It was easy because he's cool. If I don't have the money, just don't pay him. Because me and Caleb are like best friends. We grew up together, and he's my homie, So.
Did you rope at the BFI? Or I know you roped at it, but did I watch something that you won second or something?
No, I won 8th at the BFI 3 times heading. And I've won a few rounds heeling, but I could not even get in the short round heeling. You can't rope a leg and about cut your hand off on the second one because your rodeo horse is running straight backwards. And
It's Reno time.
yeah.
Right in the middle of rodeo season.
But I was a good BFI header. I get out of the barrier and I go be 9, 8, 11.
I watched the deal it was like the BFI Legend deal, and they were saying that he kind of did that for the Cowboy guys. If they have a good BFI, that was like the perfect timing to get some money right there.
Or some girl like Beverly Robbins or Tammy West, yeah.
To keep on trucking. So if you won the BFI or did good in the BFI, that helped you.
Girls roped good over there, didn't they? They had the perfect horses for that setup.
Beverly Robbins won like second or third a couple times. I'm like,
Just
okay, well, she
sit there
apparently
till by the end of the gate and catch all 6.
blow up there, set the table.
Yeah.
Healer's got to get him. I love the BFI back how it was,
Yeah.
Greg Steed, Greg Bennett. Greg's a PRCA judge now,
Yeah. Well, we need to get him to flag a little bit more.
He's cool. Yeah, he's a good team roping flagger.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, that flagging sucks at the rodeos. You know the deal.
Yeah.
He liked that hairy guy.
Well, Harry's roped a little bit too, but I like somebody that's knowledgeable. When it comes to the crossfire rule, I want a guy that's crossfire to steer before.
Well, yeah, you can't bring it. You can't bring it in the swing. You got to stay down, and then if you want to bring it right there, and stay down in your swing and not float it. Then, but yeah, when they're starting it, it's a crossfire.
Yeah, and I mean, there's different looks. I mean, the steer checks up and follows the header. It's a tough call too.
Yeah,
I really like a guy that's like I said, crossfired one and knows what it's like to crossfire one and walk out of the arena. But like. If you got some guys that rode saddle broncs.
I think like if PRCA, if they wanted to get real or a rodeo, we might put on here in Phoenix. You never know. We can talk about this, all three of us.
Maybe no.
Right here, all three of us. We'll be partners, and I guarantee it'll work. It's not a problem at all because, like you say, you just rope against your section. You can have the shittiest steers in the world. You're only roping against your guys anyways, and then bring in the badass steers on Saturday night.
For sure.
For the lights.
I mean, if the steers are all even, I'm all about that. I don't like it when you got 100 teams and.
Well, yeah, and there's 8 good ones.
Tucson this year was 114.
That was the worst rodeo in the nation. You had to be like 5, and I'm like 5, huh, to make short round. I was 6'4", and I ended up 14th.
Yeah, one in a short over there, and then you make the short go. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I don't like it. They should have kept it too, but whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of like I said. That's
nobody listens.
Nobody listens to us. But
I hear you there.
Well, BJ, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
Yeah, we'll do it again. It's no big deal.
I'm
only an hour down the road, so
we got some more good stories too. You got knowledgeable about the game. Like I said, you grew up in the era where you seen the whole game evolve.
Oh yeah,
right in front of your eyes.
It's a good game. I want the young kids to get in there. The generation. I mean, we need more bareback riders. We need more bronc riders, bulldoggers. They're not. There's plenty of team ropers, but ones that can ride to the end of it and set them down. I don't know about all that, but.
There's still some of them guys that are little.
I'll tell you what, if I'm making money, I'm going to sponsor little Michael because I try to rope against that guy all the time, and I'm like, how old are you? He's like 14. I'm like, oh man,
He's the guy that
I'm going home.
he runs the end of it.
Well, I like him because he ain't from a lot of money, but I go down there to raise there a year or so ago, and I was third or fourth high call. I thought I'd be high call by land. He's first and second high call, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's about 12 years old or something on this pony, and I thought, well, then, but he's badass.
He's very humble too. That's
Yeah,
one
so I mean, I think if we could back him, and then the head, it's up to the head. He's got to have a real header, down the line, which his dad's rank, and all of us down here in Arizona can turn him, but.
Yeah, we talk about, there's about 4 or 5 of them, in that level of
Down here.
in a couple in Texas, I'm sure more, but
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. Them boys are already set up. They're rich.
yeah,
That's a
right.
bunch of bullshit.
That's
This
right.
kid ain't got no money. And I'll sponsor him. I don't care. I'll just shoe a horse or trade one and send him some money. But if he's roping good and getting turns, you won't need a sponsor, will you?
for sure. No, you're making money.
And you don't need a big badass rig. You need a brand new truck, little camper, bumper pull, and you need a couple of heel horses that won't slide by. But most of the time, I'm not. They say Nicky Northcott and all that, and I'm friends with Steve and everything. But that kid's got every opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
I never had that shit. I was landscaping and
Little Michael won him a pickup, didn't he? Just not that long ago, he just won a brand new pickup.
in a
so-
slide over there in Texas. He got him over there. I'm telling you, this little Michael's rank, dude. Don't
Did
mess
he
with
win
that-
one in
yeah,
Texas?
don't mess
Yeah.
with that kid in the slide.
He has a
Give
brand
him
new
a-
truck.
That's kind of one.
oh,
reason.
did he win
Yeah,
one
oh, yeah.
lately?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
a couple
So
months
he's
ago.
got a rig.
Yeah.
He's got it, and then I have a buddy, Trinity Jacobs, that fixed up his
Yeah.
rig that they wrecked, and he's got it all rolling.
Oh, good. Well, I'm more power to him. So I think that's a new up and comer. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot
I
of guys rope. I mean, he can one swing him, two swing him, and all that cool shit.
That didn't Dunning. I didn't know this. We had him on, but I didn't know. Tanner Baldwin told me the story. Like he doesn't have an arena at his house, or he
Yeah.
never grew up with that.
I don't know.
Too.
And for him to go and find an arena to get to that level, that's saying something.
Yeah, hustling around. That's good and bad. I didn't grow up with an arena all the time either. And, what's cool is when you go somewhere, you don't know the cattle, and
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah.
That's like Wickenburg. Everybody goes, "Is this horse been hauled?" And I go, "I took him about 75 different arenas last winter. He's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have to go to all these stupid amateur rodeos, and
yeah,
he's ready. I've been to everybody's arena.
The slides are like open ropings.
Shit.
Yeah.
Slides around here.
Yeah,
You're
and
gonna
I don't go
get
that
yours checked
much,
out.
to them slides and stuff, but I'll go practice, do lessons, and that makes a horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you on.
Yeah. Well,
We'll do it again, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've heard for a long time that you're a no bullshit type of guy, and you whip some ass, and
Oh, yeah.
the expectations are
There's only one way to make my dad's proud, and that's like whip some badass guy on Friday night at the bar or some shit. You know what I mean?
Old school, man.
Yeah, now he's like, hey, quit. You know what I mean?
Before you got here, Caesar, we were out there talking, and he was telling me a story about some stuff, and he said, I told him we didn't have to wait till tomorrow; we can do it right now.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was on the phone with Danny Martinez, he's like, "Hey, I got your salsa over here." And I go, "Bullshit! You just want your Underwood's medicine that I got." And he goes, "I do need that, and I loaned it to you." And Danny, him and my dad and all them, they're old school buddies. So he's 75 and still like, when I owe him some horse medicine, like he wants it. And I've been like, "Hey, I'm gonna get over there to Gila, and drop it off." So
Loves his horses, doesn't he?
yeah.
Loves them.
He'd be a good guy, for this podcast. He's got
No,
a lot
we're
of cool
looking
stories.
for
He
that kind.
he grew up, fighting in Yuma and stuff, and he's done a lot of shit in his life, and he's a cage fighter, and Danny's cool. He's fun. He's just right down the road. He'd love to do it.
Yeah, no, today, matter of fact, we want to thank everybody. We just hit 1,000 subscribers today, just about an hour before you got here.
Historic day. Your birthday.
My birthday, I'm
Yeah.
45 years old today.
Oldest boy Camilo's birthday.
Me and him, we're homies.
You guys
Yeah.
are gonna be win-
He'll
you know,
probably
he's
be a
gonna
world
be a winner. You're a
Yeah,
He'll
winner.
probably be the first.
And a fighter.
When he starts bulldogging, I'll show him some tricks.
I
Yeah,
need to have him come and hang out with you. Shoot dogging now. He loves
yeah.
it.
Set the hip, man.
Oh yeah.
Me and Bo friends, and shoot the hip, slap the lips, and say hello, Mother Nature.
You guys hit the man. You got to be tough to be a bulldogger.
Yeah, you can't be no pussy.
If you're gonna win the round and be fast, it's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Just toughen up.
Yeah, I love whenever you're hurt and you tell your buddy, "Hey, let me know if you're out." Oh, yeah, okay.
It's the best when you do good. They're over high five.
Yeah, and you're like,
smacking you on the back. I can't.
I grew up with Taylor Nargane, and you know Taylor Nargane.
Yeah.
Well, back in those days, I didn't know. I wasn't around rodeo or nothing like that. Well, one day he's like, "I'm gonna do this bulldogging. So I went over and watched him. I was like, holy shit, this
You
guy's
guys are
a
nuts.
monster. Yeah. He threw that son of a bitch down, backflip, and his little brother did it, and another little brother. Now they're fucking,
Yeah, they're ranked.
yeah, they're doing good. So
That's the modern day gladiators right there.
Oh
the
yeah, they're
Bulldoggers.
wrestlers and all those kinds of shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
cool. Well, we appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you
guys.
so much, BJ.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank you.
sir.